Test, test. Okay. Hello. Good afternoon. Hope you're all well. Welcome to another live stream. Going to go through our checks as we normally do. I hope I got my focus right this week because we did have a few little issues. So if there are any problems, let me know with that. Let's just unmute it a second. Right. Okay, that's better. Borada, hello Aubrey. Hope you're okay. Hope all is well with you. Great to have you with us. And yeah, do us a favour. Can you check, is the focus all right this week? Because I had a few focusing issues last week. And can you hear me okay as well? Is everything as it should be, I hope? Anyway, right. As you can see, we're a gingerbread man. Little Christmas decoration. That's what you're going to get started with today. And the other thing that I'm going to demonstrate, I've done this as a short. That's clever. Dropping it on the floor. Good start. Yeah, is everything okay there? I think so. Right, yeah, we've got a swan ornament. And so I prepared that. Yeah, and that's what I'm going to go through. I'm also then going to share a few of the little techniques, a few of the new things that I'm sort of doing, that I've introduced, because we're always learning, we're always progressing, we're always trying different things, and sometimes we're learning from yourselves. Comments that are left on different videos help us to improve what we're doing. One recently was on a live stream, I think 2 weeks ago. Looks good, sounds good too. Brilliant. Thanks for that, Aubrey. Yeah, one comment from 2 weeks ago. Somebody said we were talking about using teak for stack cutting, so it makes life a little bit easier. And somebody said about packing tape, and it was something I tried previously, and it hadn't been particularly successful for me. So I thought, well, somebody's mentioned it again, because it's been mentioned a few times, and I thought, well, if somebody's mentioning it again, yeah, we take it on board and we'll have another crack at it, and we try it again. And I tried it again, and it was a lot more successful. So that's what I thought I would do, is to demonstrate the process that I'm using for doing that. So the first thing, I got my packing tape, and the way I'm going about it is to just put the packing tape over. I'm going through my usual process with all of this. I know it's not ideal use of my gouges, but I'm just cutting it off using the gouges, putting a little bit of packing tape on it. And the reason for it, of course, is that it lubricates the blade as you're cutting. So it just makes cutting out easier. So the method I'm using, stick it on the top, first of all. I can't stand the stuff, to be honest with you. That's part of why I probably gave up on it before. So I don't like it. It gets stuck everywhere, and my wife complains at me when I when I cut it using my teeth. She said that'll ruin your teeth. So there we are. So we put it on the top like that, turn it over, and then we do the same again, and we do it on the bottom. And one of the sort of things that I've sort of tried to figure out, I thought, well, how then, what's the best method? Is it best to put the tape on and then drill the holes? I've found that it can be difficult then to get it to sit on the scroll saw nice and flat. So what I found is the best way, the best technique for me personally, is to stick it down like so, and then get a, what do you call it again? A spike, and then just to pierce into the holes, so I get a nice flat finish. Just like so. We don't need to drill that one really, but there we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we are. So just to break through it like so, and I find for that gives me the flattest finish on the back and allows me to feed the blade nice and easily. So we demonstrate with that one there. That stack, we've got 2 pieces of the top and bottom is the sapwood of the Savina, the Spanish wood that we get. And the middle 2 is teak, so it should cut quite well anyway. We've left that one in there. I've got to change the blade first of all. So we broke the blade this morning. That's another thing I'm finding using that technique of the packing tape. I'm actually finding that blades are lasting a bit longer. So in these crazy times, any little saving, that'll be a case of famous last words. I'd probably go and snap 3 blades now. But I am actually finding that by lubricating the blade using that packing tape or using the teak, I'm finding that it's lasting a little bit longer. So we're going to do all sorts of little setting up at the start just to share little techniques. So we're going to use our set square. I know with the Hegner Multicut there is a guide on the base to help you to get it set up square. I actually find it best, that's pretty good. I find it best to use a set square because I don't 100% trust the guide. So that's not too far off being square. I'm going to do the same with the packing tape on this piece here. So this will be our setting up. So that's what we're working on first of all. So yeah, just a little bit of packing tape on the top. And where I'm finding this really helping me, and whoever did tell me this, please forgive me because I've forgotten who actually said to me. It may have been yourself, Henry, I'm not sure. But whoever did explain this, you've saved me a fair bit of time and money in terms of blades and making life easy. Where it really makes a difference is, for instance, this one that we're working on, the ash. You know, it's hard stuff, ash, for working in, or the stuff we have is anyway. And so it really does save having that, making it easier, making that blade lubricated so it's cutting more easily makes a huge, huge difference to us. The other woods then we've got, the mahoganies, yeah, not so bad. I might put later on a little bit of tape on these ones. Oh yeah, that reminds me, that was the other thing I was going to demonstrate. But yeah, so you can see, hopefully, you know, the reason I've done this is to share with you some of the setup that we go through. Now, another thing I'm always talking about is stack cutting. And that's why I've left this one off. It's just to show you how we go about stack cutting. So the way I do it, there we are. That's the Starbond accelerant. Speeds up the rate that it dries at. And what we do then, see, here we go. We get a little bit of glue in the corners of this one, just like so. Here we are. And we stick it down onto, in this case, a backing board. And in that example, I'm using a backing board because these are thicker pieces. This is going to be the body of the swan and our swan ornament. And I thought having a backing board, it just makes life easier for cutting out. So that's why we marked it out in that way. Yeah. I usually wrap packing tape all the way around. Yeah, I'm experimenting with it. So I've tried it with wrapping it all the way around, and then I'm trying different ways. So I'm trying it front and back, just trying to see what works best and what uses the least amount of packing tape to get the job done, basically. Because earlier on, I tell you why I was going around that way as well. Earlier on, because I'm doing Lovespoons, I find it's better if I put lengths of it. Because that's basically, you know, I can cover a bigger area using lengths as opposed to going round from sort of horizontally. It's quicker for me to do it vertically. But yeah, I was doing that myself, and now I've started using a little bit less. Right, let's have a go. Let's have a look. This is our gingerbread man, new little design. We'll start off as always using that same technique of doing the pierce work first of all. We're going to start off with his smile. So we'll cut it out. As always, we've got the mask. We've taken off the plate to make the cutting a little bit easier and the ear defenders. And away we go. Let's get cutting. Any thoughts, any ideas, any questions, anything you want to share with us? Any projects as well that you're working on yourselves at the moment? Let us know. It's always great to hear what you're up to. As always, we just check the back just to see if we got a nice clean finish, and we're happy with that, so we will carry on cutting out. Oh, Henry there, making some pens. Fantastic. So with that one there, with the pen kits, are you, I've seen that often done, the pens on the lathe. Are you using a lathe as well, or are you cutting them on the scroll saw? How are you doing that? How are you going about that? You might notice there we stopped the scroll saw, and yeah, it's just to clear where we were cutting. It's always worth, if you're finding you've got a couple of blocks that are in the way, it's always worth just stopping what you're doing, stop your cuts, because they can potentially knock the blade into cutting in a different direction slightly, or they can start to cause burning and things like that. So that's why we just knock those blocks out the way so they don't cause an obstruction for what you're doing. Oh, hello Rory, hello Henry as well, hello Aubrey, and hello everybody. Thank you for joining us as always. Let's have a little look. I'm using a Harbour Freight lathe. Ah, fantastic. Yeah, I've always been interested in the pen making and things like that, and but it's a thing more for the lathe, but brilliant. That sounds great. 10 inch by 18 inch. Right, Rory, what have we got there? I'm terrible at artwork. Where do you get your designs from, and how do you share the templates? Love your channel. Thank you, Rory. Appreciate that. Right, you can go on our website, okay? And there's a lot of different templates available on there for you to print off and use for free. So that is the lovespoonworkshop.com, and it's /scroll saw patterns. So they're all on there. You can use any that you're interested in for free. Right, how would I go about designing this? Well, initially I got an image from, I just put in gingerbread man silhouette. That was what I originally wanted. So I had a basic silhouette of a gingerbread man. So I took a generic image and then I adapted it to create this design. So I basically drew out that outline of the gingerbread man. I then added the candy canes in the hands, and I put a surround on it. And it's a simple thing to put a surround on it. All you do, you put a line down your page, draw around the outside, and then draw around the again to sort of create a surround. Fold the page in half, and then replicate the other side. So I basically I use a lot of simple techniques and little methods and things like this. The other design that we've got, I'll tell you the story of how this one came about. This, my wife, I'm doing myself down. I bought my wife a Swan's crystal, like a glass crystal ornament. And I looked at it, and I just looked at that, and I thought, I can recreate that in wood. So I thought, yeah, I'll have a go at that. And so I had that initial idea from that ornament, and then I drew out all of the design, and away you go. But there's loads of different ways you can go about getting designs and templates. It's popular. I know a popular one, there's Steve Goods. That's a very popular one for designs. Having a look on their website. There's loads of free resources, but I do recommend have a little go as well at designing your own things. There's so many different things you can use to get you started. I use a lot of Celtic design, so you'll get a basic Celtic idea, and then you look, how can we adapt this and change it into something different? And we use little simple techniques as we're going along. Hello, Marty. What kind of wood did you use for the quick release edition? Let me have a quick check on it. I reckon that's probably, looking at that, if it's a posh job that it was Dad who did this one, and if it's a posh job, and I reckon it is actually, I reckon he's done quite a posh job on that. It looks as if it could well be a piece of walnut. If he was in a mood where it was a cheapy mood, then it's probably a piece of Iroko. But basically, the truth of it is, Marty, it would have been a block of wood that we had there that was wide enough for the job, and that he had to hand at that given moment. But I reckon that is a piece of walnut. So yeah, he was obviously in a quality mood. Harder or softer wood? And white. Right, hardwood. A couple of reasons. Mainly, we're working always in hardwood, so we got a lot of it available to us. And it's the same with our work. We're using seasoned hardwoods, more reliable. They don't move. Seasoned softwood shouldn't move either. But yeah, because the reason for us, right? This is the thing. Anyone who's interested in this side of it, because we're doing wood carving a lot. So we don't just scroll saw ourselves. We demonstrate a lot of scroll sawing, but we do a lot of wood carving. So primarily our day job then is Lovespoon carvers, and then behind that we're wood carvers, and behind that we're scroll sawers. So that's why we work in hardwoods, is because they are better for us to be wood carving in, and we recycle and reuse a lot of the woods. And then I see you added lines. Do they help the grip? Hello, Herb. Hello, Herb. Thanks for joining us. And thanks for joining us as well, Marty. Yeah, the lines on there, yeah, it just helps us grip. It's because the original quick release that Hegner do, we find that it's too small for our hands. So that allows us to grip better. And yeah, it just all around it just is a better job and allows us to open and close that more quickly and more easily. Okay, we're just checking on the back again, just to see if everything's going as we hoped, going as we planned. Yeah, it's all looking good so far. Happy days. Another little one as well, for anybody who is sort of getting into scroll sawing, learning, developing. You'll notice we always do all of our pierce work first of all. That's because we stack cut, so you keep those layers together for as long as you possibly can. Right, have we missed anything? Thanks, the quick release knob does tear my skin up. But log or two of walnut and I have out. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, give it a go. You know, that's what we do, is we just stick that to it. I know there's other methods that other people have used. Other people have sort of drilled a hole and used like a lever. So that's another way you can do it. I'll be honest with you, I mean, Hegner, they designed, you know, their design is really good. You know, their scroll saw, fantastic. I'm a big fan, as you all know. Excuse me, but that little cog, their metal one, oh, it does that to us. It rips your hands to pieces. And if you're doing a lot of hours of scroll sawing, it's not pleasant. So yeah, it's worth, you know, you can either use that surround like that, or as I said, I've seen other people like drill a hole in it and then put a lever, so they use the lever. So something that's more comfortable definitely save you a bit, Marty. So again, just turn it over, check that you're happy with everything on the back. I think that's coming on quite nicely. Yeah. Happy days. Right, now we're going to cut out that surround. Another little bit I didn't point out with this design, and you should be able to see it no problem on on the live stream there, and we've just drilled little half holes as buttons and eyes and a nose. What I will do, this one here, right, that one there, we just did a video with them, Starbond. I'll grab the accelerant as well. Yeah, now if you're interested in this, I do believe, if you check out different videos on ours, I think it's still live, they gave us a link where you can get you can get a 10% discount by putting in the discount code Lovespoon. There's a link on a lot of our videos, so check it out and you can use it. The reason I recommend it is it's great for getting creative, because this is super glue but it's black, so you can use it similar to resin, but I find it easier to control. So those little buttons, there's another nozzle that goes on this one, and you can fill in those little bits of details. So to create the effect, I was thinking the sort of little sort of either sweets as the eyes and the buttons, or raisins, something like that. So yeah, a little one if you want to have a go at doing something different. A technique I use quite often is to add detail and contrast by using the black CA glue. Right, we cut that surround out. So I'll check if I've missed anything. There's a strange sound, video delay, though it probably doesn't matter. I have that too, Aubrey. Why is that then? I tell you what I'm going to do. Right, I'm going to go into sometimes. Let's have a look. Let's see if it might be OBS Studio. Okay. According to my microphone, the only thing that I got turned on is Elgato. I'll just change. I'll check it. Bear with me. Okay, hopefully that'll be okay. I'll just double check my microphone, the technical things that we have to. I have that too. Oh dear. Hopefully that's okay. I don't know why that might be. I will just check the settings. I'll check the settings as well on the microphone. Let's have a little look. Right, that one might be. Try that now. Is that helping? Is that better? Is that worse? Yeah, let me know on that. Let me know if that's better or worse. We've just adjusted it on the microphone. So tell me if that's helped it or hindered. And I'll cut out the surround. Let's have a check. We see the saw move quite some time before we hear it. Ah, that's like some sort of delay. Again, that's something in OBS Studio, I would imagine. Right. Not sure why it's doing that. I will have another check, see if we can get it sorted out. What is going on there? Let's see if OBS has put a delay. 2 seconds. No. I'm afraid I cannot find exactly what is going on there, so I will carry on for now and hope that it does sort itself out. But for now, there we go. You can see that's the different layers for gingerbread men cut out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then afterwards we can add little bits of detail, the same as we've done on that, drill in those little holes and go on from there. Right, let's have a little look. The next one then, we're going to start cutting out our swan. I'm going to start off by cutting out the body. I'm going to put this little plate back on because that is the that one there just makes it easier because we're only doing outlines now and not doing any pierce work. Just makes it a little bit easier. So I cut out the outlines of this and then I'll probably re-stick these so I can shape them a little bit. Apologies, maybe YouTube is having issues. Yeah, apologies for that. I will certainly, after the stream is finished, I will have a good look and see if I can figure out what is causing that lag. Not sure at this end what is causing that. I'll have a good look through just in case OBS has changed the setting or something. There we are. So that cuts out the bodies for our swans. The next thing then, I've noticed now, the backing piece is stuck on there, so we need to get those off there. So I might need to, this one here, yeah, it's stuck fast on that one. And what I will look to do, we will use a chisel. Let's have a look. There we are. Chisel there. And we'll take that backing piece off using the chisel. So let's just have a little look by the side of the scroll saw. Let's have a little look. Because the next thing we're going to do, there we are, boom, off it comes like that. So the next thing that I'm going to look to do, can I stick it back on this piece? I'm going to take where the surrounds, where I've cut those pieces away, can I use that backing piece again? Possibly not. Right, so what I'm going to need is a spare piece of wood. Will that do it? Yeah, that should do it. And what I'm going to actually do is to glue them, 1, 2, yeah. So we're going to glue them down on there. And then I'll explain what we're doing. So let's have a little look. Just little techniques that we use, see, to get the job done. Right, so the first thing, a little bit of the CA glue, just like so. And then just a tiny bit, just a tiny dab of the, we got the accelerant and then we got the CA glue. So we just allow that just to stick on. Hopefully that'll stick. We got the one, and while I'm waiting for that one to dry, we'll mark out the other one. Right, so that one just to stick next to it like so. So what we're going to do, when it comes to the bodies, because that's what these are, the bodies of our swans, we want a few angles on them. So I'm going to mark it out. We want like a flat edge into where the neck of the swan will be. So we're just going to shape it like that. Same with this one, shape it going out like that. And that will be then, it'll give us a nice flat edge for connecting the wings. And then the same again, we're going to cut that to sort of a point like that. And normally, see, I would do this on the bandsaw, but we're demonstrating on the scroll saw. Those are stuck down. Let's have a little look. And we can just shape the bodies of our swan ornaments on the scroll saw. Is that going to go under okay? It's going to be tight. Could have done with a slightly thinner piece of wood. I think what I'll do this side first of all, so we know that we definitely get that one done. And we can demonstrate it, but then we may have to use the bandsaw. I'll double check my microphone as well, see if there's anything else I can change on it that might be causing that problem. ATT. Let's try that. Audio levels. Any difference? Any improvement? Is it getting worse? Let's have a quick check. Double check on that. So, oh no, I think is that making it more quiet? How's that now? Is that louder? See how that goes. Don't normally have audio problems because we got a good microphone there to try and avoid it. But there we are. Such is life. Okay, so we're just shaping those ones there, like so. So that gives the bodies. Now you notice we just lost that there. They just came off before we finished it off. That's not going to be a big deal. We just go back over it on the belt sander, you know, just to take that off. I mean, I could do it now on the scroll saw, just take it off, but it'll be easier just for me to shape it a little bit on the belt sander afterwards. Right, we're going to cut out the other aspects of the design. So I think we will work on the heart and the wings next of all. And then we got the base and the head of our swan to cut out. Sound is good, just not synced. Ah, right. Well, there we are. Well, at least thanks for that, Aubrey. And thanks for your help with that, because it's good to know if there's any issues. Right, I can try and find what is going on there then. I'll have a little look afterwards. Do a private live stream and see if I can get it to work properly. Okay, as you're going along, you realise things, don't you? And I did the same thing when I did this the first time. Excuse me. And I've done it again, haven't I? I've done 2 sets of wings. And of course, the swan's got more than 2 swans have got 4 sets of wings, haven't they? So I'm 2 wings short. So I managed to do it again. So basically, yeah, that's going to be on there like so. I got to go and find another piece of ash when I finish the live stream and sort that out, because I'm short of a pair of wings for my swans. How have I managed to do exactly the same thing twice on the same project? But there we are. Right. Yeah, not the best, is it, when you manage to forget a pair of wings for your swans? So we'll have to get another piece of ash, and so we get 2 more wings for doing the job. And I remember the last time, the problem I had with doing this is when I was trying to carve the wings, I kept on carving the feathers on the same side. So I had 4 left wings and no right wings. So, yeah. That's not a political statement either as well. We stay out of politics. have a quick rest. My arms are getting tired now. I gotta check the comments, anything we missed? No. Yeah, as I said, apologies about what's happening with the sound. That's going to take me a little while to figure out, because we've got an external mic that goes straight into the camera. We've then got a cable that goes into an Elgato cam link. That then goes into OBS Studio. and then it goes through the internet, through an Ethernet cable, and then it'll go across to YouTube. So we'll have to find out exactly where the problem lies. Somewhere in amongst all of that. Okay. There we are. So that concludes our cutting out. We got two bases. What we'll do, we'll have a swan there, and we'll have a swan there. This is the idea of it. Might have to flatten off these bases a little bit, and then the two swans. I'll show you a bit better. Yep. So you're gonna have a swan. You're gonna have a swan facing that way, and a swan. We put him round that way. Order. We put the swan like that, and then like that. So that's how they're gonna be facing each other, like so. Here we are. And then from there, we just try and show you how it's gonna look, because that'll be like that on there, and then we'll have that, and we've got a contrasting coloured piece of wood, so that'll be stuck on there like that. That'll be on the other side like that, and then wherever I left it, we're gonna have a little heart just gonna be in the middle. So that's the idea of it, is to have two swans facing each other. But I need to remember next time that 2 swans equals 4 wings. So there we go. I got to go and find another piece of ash to put it all together. And I got to figure out what's happened with this lag on the voice, on the sound. Thank you all again for joining us. Hopefully that is interesting. Hopefully it's useful. Apologies for any of the technical issues. As always, we'll have an upload for Wednesday, a longer format video, and a short for Friday. Any questions you've got, anything you want to know